Hi guys, it's Haley Walton. For my book, I chose to read Julian is a Mermaid by Jessica Love. It's also illustrated by Jessica Love. The publisher is Candlewick Press. The copyright date is 2018. It's fiction. It's got about 40 pages, and the age range is probably between ages 4 to 8, preschool to second grade, most likely. So, in this book, while Julian and his grandma are on the subway, he sees three mermaids. When they get off the subway, Julian goes on about how mesmerized he is by the mermaids and how much he loves them. When they get back to the house, his grandma says she's going to go take a bath, and Julian decides that he is going to do whatever he can to make himself a mermaid. When she gets out of the bath, the house is destroyed, and Julian has a plant on his head, the curtain around his waist, and he has transformed himself into a mermaid. At that point, his grandma looks a little bit angry and he looks concerned, but on that page there's no words, there's just kind of the illustration of what their faces look like, expressing a lot right there. And right after that, she hands him a necklace, showing her support for his new look and kind of embracing what he is. And then she decides to take him to the place where there are other mermaids, which is like some kind of beach place. And that's kind of when the book ends, when they get to the beach place. I think that this book really illustrates how it's important to not only be true to yourself, but to find people who are supportive of you and have that unconditional love for you, because it's important to have freedom of expression and be able to be who you are no matter who you're around. And so you need that support system to be able to support you. Overall, I think the theme of this book, like I said, deals with freedom of expression and unconditional love. This book had fewer words than some of the other options, but the illustrations spoke a lot for themselves. Like I talked about the illustration where he had just destroyed the whole house and had transformed himself into a mermaid, and his grandma got out of the bath and they were just kind of staring at each other. You thought that maybe she wasn't going to act so great to what had just happened, and then she hands him the necklace and really makes his mermaid look and shows how supportive she is of what he's trying to do. I think this book would be great for students in a classroom because it teaches them what a loving, accepting environment should look like, and it teaches them that it's okay to be true to yourself and to be who you are, that you don't have to look like everybody else or have the same feelings as everybody else, because everybody's a little different. The fear of being put down by others shouldn't be something that they're worried about holding them back, and that's kind of what my activity deals with. I would break the class up into two groups. One of the groups would be Julian, so they would be talking about how they feel, how it feels to like express yourself, and like the feelings that they think that maybe would be if it were them. And then the other group would be maybe like Julian's classmates and people in his life, and how would they act if they saw him in their school. And then as they switch, we would come back together and talk about what they could do to be more inclusive of Julian, even though he may look differently on the outside. He's just like everybody else. And also why it's so important to make sure we're aware of what we're saying and how we're treating other people, no matter how they look, because of like bullying in our society and how critical we are of some people sometimes. Thanks.